From Adonai Studios in Wrightsville Beach, this is the Dubbcast. What is up, everybody? Selah shouting out to you from the South End. Big love and unity from the Dubb. Hope you're having a good day today. Today we have a very special show for you. Actor John David Bulla from The Walking Dead, Hunger Games, Fast and Furious, Godzilla, all kinds of movies. It is the second part of our interview with JD, a good friend of mine, and it is fun times indeed. Big love and unity from the Dubb. We hope everybody's having a great afternoon. We are recording live from the deck today, right out here on Wrightsville Beach, enjoying some of the summer swell and all the good friends out here hanging out. So we figured we'd just do the interview right here on the deck. You might hear a little sound of the ocean behind us, but that's just a little extra ambiance, I guess. I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Dubbcast. It's been a fun time indeed. We are now into our 10th episode, so we are super stoked for everybody's support, and we look forward to continuing on with the Dubbcast. We got some fun guests ahead. Big love and unity from the Dubb. The Dubbcast is brought to you by Carl Heverly Surf, handcrafted surfboards on the Crystal Coast. All shapes and sizes, from high-performance longboards to super gnarly pocket thrusters. Check them out at carlheverly.com. Handcrafted on the Crystal Coast. Also, the Dubbcast is brought to you by JM Seafood and Pub in Surf City. JM Seafood features the catch of the day as well as seasonal shrimp and shellfish. Check them out at JM Seafood in Surf City. Also, JM's Pub on Surf City features live music 3 nights a week. Don't miss the jump up, Thursday night reggae at JM's Pub. Selah Dubb is back in action. We've been hard at work in the studio, working on our brand new videos. We're debuting the new video Smile on Tuesday. Check it out on the Selah Dubb YouTube channel. We are super stoked. We're going to be putting out about 5 or 6 new videos here in the next few weeks. And that goes together into one of our new little musical films called Closeout City. Check it out on the YouTube channel for Selah Dubb. We're recording on Saturday, June 13th, as the country gets back in action slightly. Here in Wilmington, things are getting back in action carefully and slowly. The beach seems to be hopping a little bit, and people are getting back to normal. We hope we can get back to a new reality and a new sense of normalcy here on the coast. The Dubbcast is self-produced by yours truly here in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. Check us out at SelahDubb.com, where you can get more information about the band Selah Dubb or the podcast and all the goings-on with the tour schedule, merchandise, upcoming events, and guests on the podcast. You are tuned in to the Dubbcast. Dubb heavy indeed. Well, here we are. It's crazy times indeed. Hope everybody is charged up and kept themselves in full motion during this downtime. All I can say is we're coming back and things are going to be much better. Our reality seems pretty chaotic if you tune into the television or social media these days. But if you look around the neighborhood and in Middle America, it seems things are still holding up just the same, and we are okay. Things are going to be okay. I think it's about time to tune out of some of this social media and news frenzy for a little while, and maybe we could just come together with the people around us and grab a little unity. Anyways, here's a little diversion to help us through this tough time. Back by popular demand, it's the follow-up interview with our good friend JD Bulla from Fast and Furious, Godzilla, and most notably from The Walking Dead. JD is a good friend to all of us around here in the community, a kind soul with an outgoing spiritual nature. You never know what he's going to say next, so it's always a good time. Here is Dubbcast number 11 with my good friend John David Bulla. Check it out. We are back. Welcome back to the Dubbcast, everybody. Selah shouting out to you from the South End. It's the second half of my awesome interview with my good friend John David Bulla from Fast and Furious, Godzilla, and
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, you know.
Yeah, Jumanji.
I am Egan.
I am Negan.
So, welcome back, JD. How you been making out? We are now in June 12th. We've gotten deep into the second phase of the lockdown, and we've gotten through some crazy riots and protests for the George Floyd and the situation with police brutality. And so, what's your opinion of everything going down so far in America at this point?
Yeah, I'm just glad that recently, the protests have become a lot more peaceful, and that's what counts. It was a very tragic, sad event. It was horrible. It was horrific. The new charges came out on one of the main police officers that were involved, and those charges were stiffer, which they should have been in the first place, to redeem justice. That man was brutally murdered in broad daylight, and something's got to be done. And so they brought more charges as well to the other three officers involved. So that's been a blessing. I know that the world is angry, hurt, disappointed, but also the world needs change, and that's what has been coming. It started off a long time ago, meaning like within like the last, really like, if you want to go back, I mean, I would probably say 6 to 7 years ago, this change started evolving, and I'm just happy to see that it's gotten a lot more peaceful on a lot of accounts. Did you see how the protesters did an autonomous zone in Seattle recently, and now they're sitting around like, kumbaya and fires and watching movies and claiming their property in the East Precinct, where the police just vacated the police department, and they took over and they started putting all the fences up to say that this was an autonomous free zone. No police brutality, no police allowed, all that. Yeah, that was in Seattle.
Lord.
So
we've seen everything and anything go down in the last 5 months. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of all the protesters and everybody putting out the word and getting the word out, and I think that we've created some consciousness out there. With that has come a lot of chaos and some bad apples, bad actors in the situation, but this is like a growing pain we're going through here, and I hope that we can accept it on both sides and come together on both sides of the situation, really. I see ignorance as something that ignorant people are going to keep pushing ignorance, and people who want change are going to push change as hard as they can. So we're always going to have these kind of dichotomies. I'm hoping that we can get the police brutality to another level of safety. Maybe this will be a wake-up call,
Yeah,
But I don't want no police. I don't believe that we should be taking the police out of certain cities or anything like this. It's gotten kind of
extreme.
They try to push the cognitive dissonance. The left is pushing it one way, the right's pushing it another way, and it's
we all just need to come together.
Yeah, a few bad actors are making it like that, and the media likes to hype it to a point where we all believe that's our reality when it's really that's not what we live in here.
Exactly. That's not what we're living here.
There's more unity than you think.
Yeah, there's totally more love and unity than you think. In fact, all this started with a great movement, back in 2014, man. I mean, I had been hearing about it for like a decade before 2014. I heard about it. It's called the love movement. The only thing that's real here is love, and that's what everybody needs to understand. It's all about that love movement that the world is awakening at a very fast pace, and it's a beautiful thing when there's a lot of great, amazing people involved. Um, that's all in it for the right things. Love, kindness, compassion. Uh, Putting down those fists and doing. Well, you can't do handshakes these days because of the virus, unfortunately. But you can at least, fist bump, and one day. I mean, honestly, I think depending on how safe you are as a conscious warrior, we will definitely be able to hug each other sooner than later.
I hope so sooner. I think everyone needs a hug, and that's the situation where a lot of people are lacking in that emotional connection because they've been locked up for months. Not as much as on this side of the country, but out west, a lot of my friends are just locked up still, especially the people that are single, and they're just not getting out much. So it's had a real mental effect on the nation. It's almost had a psychological wave come over everyone. I hope we can snap out of that real soon, for sure.
Yeah, that's
But as I think about the protests, when you think back in the late 60s, early 70s, especially in the 70s, I remember protests turning to this love movement, positive movement, conscious movement, and it's really the only way you can take it and have a true effect is almost step up out of the wave pool and try to control the levers instead of try to punch the waves in the wave pool. You know what I'm saying? But step out of the wave pool and control the levers and do what you can to step out and look at the perspective from the outside. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like everyone's inside a wave pool, punching the waves, trying to stop. But you can't do anything about that. You got to step out and stop the wave machine. You know what I'm saying?
There's definitely a wave machine going, but what a lot of people have to realize, when you get to that point, you have to realize that we are all one. Everybody affects each other.
Yeah.
And that's key. Once you believe that, they won't keep bickering at each other. They won't keep saying bad things towards each other. I mean, I had a friend today. He called me up and he's like, I'm just so angry. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Talk to me. He's like, man, I'm a manager and this guy came in and he just gave me, all these very negative attitudes towards him, trying and Travis was sitting there and trying to help this guy, put his furniture, that he had just gotten off of the floor because they had ran out of stock, and the dude was like, I want this now. And so there was like something wrong with one of the legs, and all it was just a little screw on the backside of the table leg that wasn't screwed in correctly. But Travis wasn't the one that put the floor model together. He was a manager, but there was a lot of conflict there, and Travis chose to do the right thing and just walked away and let the other, because I didn't realize this. Big Lots does two managers like on shifts and stuff like that, And so his manager was there, and then he was there acting as another manager, and he just let the other manager just take care.
Pressure just built up on people, I think.
Yeah, I really think that, and I was like, look, I was like, Travis, the way you need to look at this, and you did the right thing by walking away, but the way you need to look at this is this: there are no bad people out there. There are people that are always crying for love. So there are no bad people, and you, you people that do necessarily bad things in this realm of where we are consciously here, right? Um, those people um, are still part of us. They're all part of us, and that's where we are all one. And so, rehabilitation is better than locking these guys and these girls that are crying out for help. Rehabilitation is definitely a better way than mass incarceration. With what I mean, man, I watched this amazing documentary the other night. It's called The 13th, right? Amazing, beautiful black director, Ava DuVernay. She's a beautiful person inside and out, and it took her 2 years to complete this project on mass incarceration, prison systems, and how all the prison systems are a scam.
You can't deny that it's a money-making situation, and you got to keep making money, so you got to keep creating more victims and incarcerating more people to make more money. So when you put incarceration into a capitalist scheme and privatize it, there you go. And that's what we've had insanity with incarcerating.
I mean, think
the lesser privilege and
think about this stat.
For minor offenses.
25% of America is locked up.
Yeah.
Locked up.
Yeah.
A lot of those people that are locked up are minor, non-violent offenses or drug offenses. And what they did was, throughout this whole entire documentary, they went through the years. They start off in the 30s, and they were talking about how horrific Birth of a Nation film was, because it made the beautiful black people look like the man. It was always about the man, making him look like a dog, a devil, just a madman. And they portrayed, these lovely people as such. And then they went through how it changed. And so the 30s, that was after like the Civil War era. Ku Klux Klan was the Ku Klux Klan was literally in this documentary. There were movies back then that literally made the KKK look great.
Yeah, the first wave was, there was 3 waves of it. So the first wave was a different movement than the second wave and the third. And so the first was definitely supported by the nation. The second was the Jim Crow plan, which was here in Wilmington.
Yeah.
Started here in Wilmington and Norfolk. That's where it started, and that's when they had the first coup in an American office. The only coup that's ever happened. They took over our courthouse and the whites took over because the blacks were coming in and taking over downtown. They were building really great buildings downtown. They were becoming lawyers and doctors. They were getting established. They were taking over in government. And so the white supremacists came in and said, we're not going to have this. And they took over the court system and ran it themselves. Took over the courthouse in I think it was early 1900. Right after a couple, 20 years after the Jim Crow laws, after the blacks got freedom, they started going into a renaissance and really started thriving.
Right.
And taking and establishing themselves. And so
yeah.
That happened right here in Wilmington, and the Klan was established the second. And so you still see the people with their Confederate flags and trying to stand up for their whatever heritage they thought they were raised around, but it's just very backwards mindset and very dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
Many people were lynched. Many people were lynched right around here near Wrightsville Beach. On the way out here to Wrightsville Beach, there's a big farm where many people were lynched and killed right here in North Carolina. So it was a very deadly, dangerous, and terrible history and past that we buried and never really taught. I mean, we weren't taught in school or anything about it. Now it comes out deeper and deeper. It's just deep inside many families and many heritages, so it has to be lost somehow. It has to be lost. So
yeah, and
it goes deep.
And it's very full of horror stories. The good news is that the black community and the other people that are amazing supporters of the black community, they were able to start building businesses. They were able to start thriving. The laws finally changed where they were able to vote. So it was an amazing turn, and it needed to happen just like today's change needs to happen as well.
It's been incremental, but very slow and ridiculously slow in my time period, because I thought this was
very slow. Exactly right.
Me seeing Rodney during the days of Rodney King, we were all
all
outraged and amazed by that. But nowadays, with the world star attitude and just the way we've seen everything and anything on YouTube, we're not even fazed by numerous cases worse than Rodney King. So
yeah, and
it's crazy.
And you're exactly right. And
and I've been a part of this. I've been a part of the profiling because of my music business and who people that I have ride with me and me being a Rasta man. I've been a part of this profiling thing the whole time. So I have nothing. I can't say or speak like I'm a victim because I'm a white man here in America, but I've seen it firsthand on a regular basis. Traveling with a band with black people in my band and just late night on the road in a band. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen it firsthand seeing 100 straight up great police officers, and then 1 out of 100 I've had been seriously crooked. And that's scary when you get one like that and they're talking to you and they're trying to set you up and you're just like, whoa, so it's a scary situation, but I'm hoping that some awareness is finally going to get reached here.
Yeah, talking about profiling the industry that I work in, I've got long hair and a beard. So what do the casting directors want me to do? I was asked, I don't know how many times in the last 2 years, to be a KKK member, a Aryan Nation member, an anarchist, but an anarchist with white power involved. So once again, to the KKK, and then I ended up refusing every last one of them until Happen Leonard called me. And Hap and Leonard is a really cool show on I believe it's on AMC. It ran 3 seasons. Great actors involved, amazing storyline, and the only reason I took it is because as an actor, you don't want to necessarily be what would you call it? Um, not it's not profiling. It's oh, my mind has lost me right now.
Pigeonholed.
Okay,
Stereotyped.
stereotyped or yeah, something to that effect. Yeah, it will come to me eventually. But I took it because
Typecast.
typecast. Boom, there you go, Mark. Typecast.
We
Exactly.
both had a brain
that
fart.
that easy, right? Typecast. Because they let me know that I was going to be in a hood.
Yeah, that's crazy when you come. So how do you? I mean, when you get offered,
And I was featured.
when you get offered
really
something like
good. It
that,
was a lot
what goes
better
through
pay.
your mind? Like when you get offered something, or you do a role like that, do you feel like, because you got to look at it from the actor's perspective. You got to go out in public now. You got to be worried about being typecast as that kind of actor. Like, what is your reaction and before accepting and after accepting?
Before you really contemplate, is it really worth it? To do it, because you look at all these different factors about your reputation, your identity, who you are as a person, but then you look at it as a creative concept and with the storyline behind it, and if you want to be part of telling that powerful story along those lines.
Exactly. So it's your craft. So,
yeah, and so
it's a crazy thought from that. From someone who's not an actor.
Yeah. With me, I've always been more of a method actor. I love to method act and really get involved with my character. Um, like, and so how I took this gig on Happen Leonard was I was featured. So therefore, with me being featured, I knew that I was going to be working with the leads. And so that's what I ended up doing. What in the scene, I can't remember if it's Hap or Leonard. He's played by an amazing black actor. Um, uh, I can't remember his name, but he was in Boardwalk Empire, and he's an amazing actor and funny dude. And he was being chased through the woods, because we were, as a group, we were going to get him and try to rough him up. You know what I mean? And so. The other character in it, either Hap or Leonard, he lost where he was in the scene, and so the other dude started running towards us, and he didn't realize where he was running to, and then all of a sudden, boom, we got it, right, and then we drag him off and all that stuff off camera and stuff like that, and so it was cool because one thing is like taking a character like that and being in that moment is kind of difficult at most to go into that mindset. So you really try to think about, hey man, who's this really cool actor next to me playing my other KKK member, right? And you start palling around and in between takes and then it was really cool. The lead from England, while I was getting some hot chocolate, I couldn't figure out in Crafty, I couldn't figure out how to operate this pot that you had to heat up the water with. And so the lead walks up, and it's cold, dude. It's like 32 degrees. So thank God I had a hood and a freaking robe on because I was freezing my butt off that night. It was 32 degrees. We were in the middle of nowhere in southern Atlanta, where out in these farmlands where the Atlanta child killer had dumped off children
Crazy.
during the 80s.
Now,
and we're sitting, and we're standing on this ground, and one of the KKK members that I'm playing with, acting with, he's a teacher part time, right? And so we're sitting in holding, and he's like, guys, do you guys know where we are right now? And we were like, no, don't freak us out because it's 2 a.m. and it's cold, and there's not a light anywhere around here except what the PAs have set up for us to have a light, and we're all like tucked in this tent. And so I go outside, man, because he's telling me about this story, and it's starting to really give me the heebie-jeebies because as soon.
Oh, and there's wild dogs out there. There's wild dogs in outside of Atlanta that are dangerous.
Wild dogs?
Yeah, there's packs of them now. But go ahead.
Whoa, what? That's crazy.
Go ahead. There's wild dogs out there. You could have gotten attacked easily.
So I get out.
They could have eaten you by the balls.
Jeez, dude, that's not cool at all.
Balls first.
So I go out, and I'm trying to make this hot pot, man. The main lead comes up to me. He's like, sir, are you having trouble trying to heat up your hot chocolate? And I'm like, holy shit! I'm telling myself, dude, you're the lead on The Following. Like, he was the main psycho cult leader of The Following. I can't remember his name right now, but it will eventually come to me again. Anyway, I'm like, yeah, I can't figure this out, right? He's like, okay, hold on. So he comes over, and he's like, let me help you. And so he's helping me, and he figures it out, right? And he's like, okay, sir, would you like me to pour your hot chocolate for you? Now this is a lead actor that has been on tons of TV shows, tons of movies, cool as all get out.
Yeah, they always get you with the English accent. Next thing you know,
oh man,
they got you in their tent.
And so, so yeah, he poured my hot chocolate for me, man.
He poured your hot chocolate. Huh?
This was a cool dude, man. He was a cool dude.
Give you a hot chocolate.
Yeah. So then I come back to the tent, and we're ready to start the scene again. And all I'm thinking about going back out there, dude, is the Atlanta child killers energy for the rest of the time that I'm out there until 6, 7 a.m. until the sun comes up. That was a crazy night.
You're lucky the packs of wild dogs didn't get
Dude,
you.
so I thought that they were coyotes, but I guess they are packs of wild dogs.
There are wild dogs there.
Wow.
Now, the reason why I know this is my friend was biking across America.
Jeez, dude.
And he got attacked. He didn't make it very far. He was doing some strange route where he was going down to Atlanta because he knew people there.
Right.
So he went down there to see some people on the way out west.
Right.
And he had his bike all decked out. And he's like been doing it for years. He had like all his bags, and he had like a little trailer. So he's pulling all his stuff, and he's boogieing on there. He got himself all the way to Atlanta like day 4.
Mm-hmm.
And a pack of wild dogs attack him. Literally, I was like, dogs? This is strong. This is a tough guy. I was like, dogs? Yeah, like a pack of wild dogs came at him and just bit him and attacked him and ruined his trip. He had to go home. He had to get to the hospital and then go home. He had to stop his trip across the country. And I thought it was bullshit. Man. And then I saw something on the news on YouTube about it. There's a whole thing about the wild dogs in Atlanta, outside of Atlanta, southern Georgia.
That is an amazing story. So the very
James Purfoy?
Yeah, James Purfoy was the one that helped me with my hot chocolate.
I see. Look at that pretty boy.
So shout out to James Purfoy. He's an amazing actor.
Very cool.
Amazing, cool dude. He's been on tons of things. Like, he played Joe Carroll in The Following. He's in Knight's Tale. He was in Pennyworth. He's in the really funny show that actually I've seen called Sex Education. Hilarious show on Netflix. It's an English show, and it is so funny about different things about sex education. I would definitely recommend that.
What was the name of that
tremendously.
movie that you're on?
It was a television show called Hap and Leonard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very cool,
and then the really cool black actor was Michael Kenneth Williams, who is an amazing actor himself. I mean, just really
Oh yeah, I know.
cool
yeah.
dude. 12 Years a Slave, Assassin's Creed, Boardwalk Empire, man. He played this dude named Chalky White. I mean, unbelievable. He was the gang leader of all the blacks in the really cool mobster scenes back in Jersey, Boardwalk Empire. Really,
Oh yeah, what a
really cool.
All right, we are back, JD. So, you getting down to the beach much lately?
Yeah, it's been really nice. It's been not as much people there for a while. The more they weekend, all that stuff is packed, and so recently it's gotten much better to where there's not enough, more sand than people, I guess you could say, and the water warmed up quite a bit.
You still surf?
I'm not. I never really. I tried surfing and almost castrated myself for the first time in my life. Yeah.
What happened?
No, it's not cool. I was like 14, and I've always been a bodyboarder, as surfers call it, spongers, right? And so I went out one day with all my buddies up at Emerald Isle, Hollywood Travel Park crew, and my brother was like, "Hey, I'll let you borrow my surfboard." I'm like, "Okay, cool." We're out in the water. It's like chest high, wishy washy, just massive waves everywhere. Coming from every which direction. There's no lines at all. A lines or anything like that. It's just like a washing machine. You know what I mean? And so I get up on the board and I don't realize it, and it's taking me too long to get where I need to get on the wave, and so the wave sucks me up and literally just crashes me down. And when it crashes me down, I'm in deep water, and so I think that I'm going to actually, move the board in the correct way. And unfortunately, when I let the board go, the wave was already having the board and
Come back to you.
coming back to me, and it literally went underwater and came back up in a freaking rocket speed, and the point of the fin came right across my groin area, close to my family jewels. Man.
Oh my god!
And since that day, I have never ever been on a surfboard for the rest of my life.
Dangerous stuff. Well, that must have been like some kind of warning for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Some kind of warning.
Oh, I've had the board shoot at me so many times. Trust, it's hit me at least twice, just like that, where it goes down and then it shoots right back at you after you thought you think everything's good. And you're just chilling, and here comes the board. Oh, it's the worst. That happens like every 10 years, once every 10 years to me.
Yeah.
Well, good thing you didn't lose your family jewels.
Yeah, man, that was
that fin will slice you in half.
Yeah. But so when I first started as a little boy. I was 9 years old, and what I would do is I would take the raft, and
Oh, that was the raft days, yeah.
that was raft days, man. I didn't know
We
what
didn't
a
have-
bodyboard
we didn't
was.
have the
I
bodyboard.
couldn't afford a bodyboard.
We had the raft.
You know, we had the raft, right? and so I had this raft, and I'd be going down and learning how to, work on the way the wave would break and everything else, and that's how I learned.
That's how you learn.
That's how I learned because I would figure out how to turn the raft sideways and get barrel rolled and didn't even know what it was called. And then so when I got my first bodyboard, man, at the age of like 11.
That's magic.
Oh my gosh, like it was unbelievable. It was a Mike Stewart Mach 7.
Yeah.
Not a 7SS.
Classic.
But a Mach 7 classic.
Just a little skinnier.
Dude, I rode that
Was
board.
it yellow?
Yeah, of course. Yellow with the orange bottom. Yeah, man. Just classic, right? I rode that board until it was waterlogged. And I had started getting really good as a bodyboarder. Like I was starting to do helicopter spins, El Rolos, barrel rolls, 360s 360s on the water, 360s off the air, off the lip. I would float like you.
Surf, yeah.
I would do floaters. I would always do that, and then all of a sudden I would get a Charlie horse because I didn't have enough water in my system.
I still get that.
And so so I can't wait. Here's the thing, like with this lockdown and everything, with me being closer to the beach, it's really, really cool because I've had a lot of downtime.
You gotta come out, yeah.
I do.
Right.
I do. The problem is, and you know what? This is this is gonna get me out because I have no board now, and I need to order a board. And I've been looking at these.
I got a closet full of bodyboards.
Oh, you got a closet full of bodyboards?
If you don't have one,
I've got fins, and
I
still got my flippers. Yeah, man, totally. Yeah.
I got all the boards. Yeah. I got three. I got the old school Mach 7.7s. I got a new school BZ.
Oh wow!
I got.
Oh, you got a new school BZ?
Like a real stiff one.
I used to have a real stiff BZ.
Yeah.
So I went from Mach 7.7 to a town and country Hawaiian design.
How cool!
Badass bodyboard, dude. This was epic. Mark Dell signature. Okay.
It was TNC.
TNC.
Yeah.
I custom ordered it from Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah. Because I had to up my game, man. Like someone.
Did that board have a fiberglass stringer in the middle? It didn't have like a fiberglass.
The grommets were coming out of like northern Outer Banks and lower in Virginia Beach, Bob Beach, and they would enter in the contest and like come down and like just show us up on our own beaches. And so like with a Mach 7, what was your question about the board? They had the concaves.
It didn't have some fiberglass stringers in it. Or was it all foam?
So that was like the BZ. The BZ had the fiberglass. Yeah, no, this town and country had a flat glass.
Like
a flat plastic. Yeah, but it had the channels like a surfboard inside to where it would just haul ass compared to my Mach 7 because my Mach 7 was waterlogged.
Exactly.
My Mach 7 was just waterlogged, and I needed to up my ante, and so. My buddy, he's like 12, and by that time I'm 14, and Hunter was going off. Hunter was a drop knee bodyboarder, where I was more of a prone body.
Yeah.
I would stay on my stomach all the time.
Yeah.
Where he would drop knee. He would always drop knee. I could drop knee, don't get me wrong, but he could drop knee and do El Rolos and barrel rolls and still stay on. Now this kid was tiny. Hunter, I mean, he's 12 years old. He's just ripping a new one like all the time. He might have been in actually, you know what? He might have been 10 or 11 when I was 14. Hunter's like, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. He might have been 9. He was amazing, dude. Like Hunter was this kid out of Raleigh. That's where a lot of my friends, they were either from G Vegas, Greenville, or Raleigh, and they would come down, for the weekends, and they would stay at the Holiday Travel Park. And they would be local because their parents would have permanent spots.
That was me when I was a kid.
At Holiday Travel.
I'd come out here for the weekends and vacations and stuff.
Yeah.
Summertime.
Yeah, man, I've seen some killer pictures on your Instagram recently that's just on fire, where you're just coming out of the wave and doing floaters, and dude, you're epic. You've been surfing for how long?
A long time.
I
I would say
like,
1977,
wow.
76, maybe 74.
So when did you?
I don't remember. 76 or 76 probably when I started.
When did you start?
Well, I was rafting before that. We were rafting. Between 73, 74, 75, I was rafting a lot. I was like maybe 4 or 5 or 6. And then like 76, I got my first surfboard. 76, I got the green Moray board. It was the first foam boards. The first year they came out with foam boards, it was May 77. It was Moray Doyle. It was called Moray Doyle. And they made foam surfboards. And they made all the different sizes. Back in the day, the surf shop was like it was like very sports minded. And they would like have a series, like they had a whole series of all the different sizes. And they had this little 6-foot mini longboard that I got in '77. The first the first couple of years of sophomores, which is really interesting for sure. But
Yeah.
I watched that evolution of surfboards going to the shortboard revolution and then the tri-fin revolution. I was like watching that as a kid, and skateboarding during that time. When skateboards went from skinny boards to wide boards, and I watched boards go from longboard to single fin to twin fin fishes to tri-fin boards. You know, I watched all that happen. And I was part of it. And it was a very interesting time period for sure.
Yeah.
And foam being created, you know, that's really cool. Dude, you got to come shred.
I do.
So you would compete sometimes.
Yeah,
bodyboarding.
I would. Yeah, I would do local tournaments. I was more of a type of dude that was on the DL, to where I didn't want to do a bunch of contests.
Yeah, Mike never did really.
You know, I thought it was more commercialized and all that stuff, and you know.
Did you go to Shackleford Banks?
I took a trip up there with my brother, like back to Ocracoke, where I was raised for a short time and born. On Ocracoke, there wasn't a hospital there, but basically the Coast Guard helicopter grabbed my mom and took us to Elizabeth City before I was born.
Crazy.
Yeah, and so I was born in Elizabeth City.
So your mom was living on Ocracoke?
Yeah. My mom and dad. My dad was postmaster and also in the Coast Guard on Ocracoke.
Early 70s.
Yeah, early 70s.
76?
1975.
75.
Yeah.
What a trip. That must have been a wild, like very isolated, wild little community back then.
Yeah. I only lived there for like 6 months as a baby.
People who don't know, Ocracoke is an island on the Outer Banks that just sits out there in the middle of nowhere. It's very small. Probably only has, I would say, 5,000 residents. Maybe 5,000, maybe 10,000 people live there.
No. Like, are you saying now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Back then, probably only like.
Back then, 500 or less.
Yeah.
Like actually, to this day, there's only really 500 permanent residents that are there. Everybody else
only
has
500.
Yeah. It's a tight knit family type deal. Yeah. There's a lot of people there that vacay, right, and have second homes there. But permanent residents, it's very low still with Ocracoke.
It's hard living out there.
It's where Blackbeard took off and did his pirating and stole a bunch of stuff.
The mayor of the Sound there, Pamlico Sound, allowed Blackbeard to harbor his ship in his port because Blackbeard had become such a pirateer that he was banned from all different areas of the United States. So the only person that let him in was the mayor of Pamlico Sound.
Wow, the mayor of Pamlico Sound.
I think that's who it was. He was like the mayor of the area. Interesting.
The Blackbeard story goes way back, and mayor of Pamlico Sound.
It's the mayor of is that Pamlico Sound?
Well, yeah.
He's the mayor of Pamlico Sound. He was the mayor of that area, and he watched over that harbor, and so he let Blackbeard in because Blackbeard had done such pirateering at that time. That was the last harbor that was allowing him in. because they didn't want no Blackbeard in their area. You know what I'm saying? But he
Right.
had the mayor was kind of crooked too, so had Blackbeard on the side and was like agreeing with his behavior, whatever he was doing. I don't
Right.
remember it.
Right.
They were like taking on ships that were not, they were taking on ships from Spanish ships and English ships, and they were just taking on ships that were coming in the area that were like, a threat to the area. So they would just go and pillage different ships. It was a wild time for sure.
Those were crazy times.
Trying to survive
man.
then must have been hard.
All I know is that Blackbeard was from England, and he was kind of like a peaceful privateer until they killed his beloved wife.
He grew up on Jamaica.
Yeah. He went from England to Jamaica to Ocracoke, and then he would travel back and forth from Ocracoke to Jamaica, and do all the rum running and all that stuff and everything about that as well. But yeah, it was crazy indeed.
Well, the rum runners, you know what that was?
Yeah, pirates.
No, the rum runners, the later rum runners were the original. When we had Prohibition, they would bring rum in from the Bermuda and the Caribbean islands. They would bring alcohol in and run. They would run the rum. That was the rum runners.
Ah, okay. So
they
would
bring it in when it was during the days of Prohibition.
All I know is that Blackbeard would come up to Ocracoke and hide his loot, hide his pirate booty, right? And
have they found it?
They found his ship, Queen Anne's Revenge, and they found some gold on that sucker.
Did they?
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So that's pretty crazy in itself, right?
We are back with JD Bulla from Walking Dead. All right, JD, can you give me a little more information about this latest year on The Walking Dead?
Well, I'm kind of not up to that because I've only watched through season 7, episode 5, and I haven't watched all of season 5 yet either. I've watched season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4.
But are you in that?
No, I'm only in season 6, season finale, and then I go into season 7, and that was the big scene. And then I'm in season 7, episode 4 as well, as a savior. So I didn't die, which is really cool. That means I can easily be brought back, especially in the movies with what I'm hearing talk about what's going on with storylines and everything. It's pretty interesting. That's going to be, Andrew left The Walking Dead so he could pursue some other things, but also start on the Walking Dead movie series. So yeah, I mean, fans, you guys, yeah, I mean, it's already, production's already started. So Andrew's, back in the saddle as Rick. That was before the pandemic. Now everything has been shut down. But we got really good news out of Georgia. Freaking fantastic news out of Georgia. I mean, I'm already getting casting for Independence commercials and all that stuff starting in June this month. And then in July and August and September, all the big productions are going to start back up in Georgia.
Oh, ready to get back moving. It's crazy.
Yeah. So
got to get moving.
So the scene is going to come back. Where they estimated it. They estimated it July, August, September, and they were right. But right now, man, Australia is starting to boom already in pre-production and already getting back to where they had been filming. Like there's a TV show called The Neighbors. It's been filming for the last 4 or 5 weeks with less extras, unfortunately. in scenes, but that's the way that they're choosing to do that, and they're going to choose to do that here in the United States as well. There will be less larger extra scenes, so people that would be able to just be a blur on the screen. Now it's going to be CGI. We were already going towards the CGI extras because, like, what they would do. This was a fascinating process. What they would do recently. So, the first movie that I ever did this on was Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And what happens is you go into this blacked out room with like 180 cameras. Okay, and they sit you on this platform, and you're facing the cameras that are literally 360 degrees around you. And this group is from Australia that comes in and does all these pictures. And so they tell you, stand still with your hands out and your arms out and your hands flat down, and then you kind of spread your like a little stance with your legs, and so you're sitting there, and every time they take a picture 180 times you turn, so you're facing, and then you turn a little bit, and you turn a little bit more, and you go all the way around the 360 degrees. And what happens is, recently Godzilla did it to me. Jumanji did it to me.
So now you're like a video game character. You can
Jumanji.
They can kind of manipulate you and put you in any positions.
Yeah, and they can explode you. Like if you're near an explosion and they want to put you near that gas tank that is going to go off, you can be exploded. They recently did on Doom Patrol. It's a new based Marvel, not a new. It's a new TV series based from a Marvel comic book that's old school called Doom Patrol, and
that's 60s.
Yeah,
that's like G.I. Joe.
Right.
I remember that.
Right, exactly. And there's a lot of different time periods and everything going on in the show. Well, they asked me to come in on the pilot episode to be part of the Marvel universe. And so what it was is like I've not even seen this
Doom Patrol
this part yet.
Has that come out?
Yeah, it's on DC Universe. And now they are releasing it on HBO Max. So it's going to get some different platform playing around besides DC Universe. But
now when stuff's on DC Universe, does it get out of the public pretty?
So
or does it stay locked up in there?
So DC Universe.
And I know they don't see it in other platforms.
Is
a lot of people
streaming platform?
A lot
that
of
was like $74.99. But here's the thing: the reason why Doom Patrol was the first TV series to come out on DC Universe. The second TV series to come out was locally filmed Swamp, and it crushed.
So people
everything.
Pay the subscription?
The critics, people were just like me. People were just buying the subscription just to watch Swamp.
Yeah,
that's how people have been wanting to watch Swamp Thing since they created the movies back in the 80s. Early 80s, mid 80s. And also, they're fascinated by the dark universe of DC Comics, which is Constantine and Dark Batman, involved.
What is Constantine?
Constantine is this amazing dude that's got like
some biblical.
He talks to ghosts and spirits, and he can jump realm to realm and all that stuff. That's Constantine. The original movie that we're familiar with, Keanu Reeves played Constantine back in the day in the 90s.
I'm so out of the mix. I don't even know about it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So that was in the 90s.
Yeah, that was in the 90s.
So he was a
90 early.
He was an action figure. He was Constantine.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves played Constantine.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, it's really good. You could probably watch it on Netflix or Hulu.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Constantine. It's a good movie. In fact, they're talking about creating a sequel to that movie. They've been and Keanu Reeves is interested.
Huh.
So it'd be pretty interesting to see him back as Constantine. The new Constantine, the actor, he's done a fantastic job. I mean, he's an amazing Constantine. He's very sarcastic. He's hilarious. Like that's the thing about this dude, Constantine, and he's done really well. Constantine with Keanu Reeves came out in 2005. As I'm checking IMDb, kudos to IMDb. Okay, IMDb is the largest acting production database in the world.
Are you in there?
And yeah, I have my profile in there. You can check it out, imdb.com. Look under John David Bulla, and you'll see where, even though I have a lot more credits, there's 26 credits on there. There's some credits that I've not even had time to like try to put up there and ask to be on IMDb. I need to work on that in this downtime and everything. Matt Ryan plays the new Constantine, and he does a really cool dude. Yeah, you've been telling me that. I think that's something that I'm going to probably start in the next couple of weeks. You're amping me up. You're getting you're getting me motivated to do that.
Because you know so many characters, so many people that would get on your podcast. You can get, and then when you're on set, also to kill time, you might be able to get some actors to get a good little mic with your laptop and get not the best anybody.
Yeah, the only thing about on set is right now, and that's back to George's guidelines. Okay, when I go back on set, everybody's gonna be wearing masks.
Craziness.
You have to have temperatures taken.
Oh my god.
There's gonna be social distancing.
They got us under mind control.
Yeah, it's definitely
at the highest level.
It's definitely something that's scary.
It makes me get revolutionary. I don't even see how they're.
Well, I mean, there's a revolution going on right now. The love movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, the conscious awakening movement that's going on all around the world. You got to understand, all these people around the world that are you and I put together, because we're all one, have been locked up in their houses, for 3 months, 2 to 3 months, maybe even longer in some places, that are just tired of the bullshit that they're being told about this virus when studies are coming out now, and it's not as
the studies have been out the whole time.
Well, people are finally recognizing the studies and how like the CDC has reversed everything almost. Now they're saying you don't even need to go out with a mask unless you are with a person that has the virus. Then you need to be wearing a mask. Now, if somebody gets this virus, why am I going to be with them? Unless I'm helping them, you know what I mean? Which is possible. But like, for example, there's some people out there. I read an article today that if you have diabetes or if you are considered obese in today's standards, you can die within 7 days of this crazy virus. So there is something out there that's deadly, but to the majority of the population, it's not as bad as what they're saying.
We're not sure who's telling you that. That's the thing. The information we're getting is being funded by
CDC.
pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
And the CDC.
They want to create all these vaccines.
Now, this is capitalism. With capitalism, you have to make money. You have to keep making more product, selling more product. They need money. They need to sell a big product because they got a lot of money in all their advertisement. So what's going on? Stop and take a look at what's going on as far as cognitive dissonance, where they push the boundaries a little further, and you keep believing a little more and letting your rights go a little more, and pretty soon you're not an American anymore, and you're living under other people's ideals. So anyways, we'll go on.
Well, that would be the Communist China Party.
Exactly.
That they've been creating slowly.
Exactly.
Propaganda.
They've got us in some strange mind melt. So yeah. I believe that we need to just be smart. And don't open our eyes and maybe turn off the TV for a while.
Yeah, I heard an amazing
what's going on
song
in your neighborhood?
today.
Look around in your neighborhood. What's going on? Look around down the street. What's going on? Look around in Wilmington. We had 3 deaths in our county And what kind of deaths are they reporting? Are these people that have really had tests? Are these people that have had effects from other things, maybe a car crash? And I won't go on and on with my rage, but I feel like we need to get back to work. I keep saying that, and I think that it gets banned from different algorithms when you say the word, so I have to blur it, I have to beep it out. But anyways,
What would blur you out? What?
If I put it when I put it on YouTube and I say the CV, if I say the CV,
yeah, real.
It'll the algorithm will keep you from being seen by everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like the algorithm.
See, that right there is just
and then
scary.
they can put a red flag on your YouTube if you get too
They're
radical
censorizing
so
everything these days.
So
and
three
that's
red flags and they take away your page. So.
That's the movement of
so you gotta be careful what you say because the pharmaceuticals are owning YouTube and owning your media. So pharmaceutical companies need to make money.
Definitely.
Just take that into mind and maybe tune out from the TV for a while and realize that we have a reality around us that has nothing to do with the hype they're feeding us. So don't believe the hype like Flava Flav says.
Yeah. Don't believe in the hype. However, protect your loved ones. Protect your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife or your kids. Be smart.
Stay disinfected, clean.
Yeah,
careful.
Wash your hands every you guys are smart people out there. You're beautiful. You're smart people. You know what to do. Just basically don't get in such a crowded area right now. I mean, because what's happening is when you go to these larger group gatherings, if there's somebody out there that is asymptomatic walking around and you don't know it, and yet, I mean, definitely wear the mask, but just be safe and be careful about stuff like that because you don't know where other people have been, and you have to create that safety net because people within your safety net and around your kind circle, they could have low immune systems, and it could really mess them up and cause them not be in your life anymore. And that's where you got to be really careful about what's going on and just be smart and be healthy and just do the right things.
I'm not talking about them, but I have a low immune system, so I'm on the front lines of being a dangerous candidate for it. But in me, I'm not even that concerned. I believe that we need to get back to life, in my opinion. So, anyways, JD, what do you got here? You got your JD card. You got your cards.
So
this is so cool. You got
my savior.
Trading cards.
Yeah.
These are cool.
The dead cards. These are epic, man. My buddy Mark Roberts. I got a hold of him through my really good friend Indiana Cifuentes, who's going to be on a future guest of yours very soon on this cool ass podcast that you got going on. The Dead Cards, www.thedeadcards.com. My buddy Mark Roberts, he's created this amazing concept through as us actors, even though we don't have like lead speaking roles, we still have great fans out there that really are fanatics, and we love our fanatics and we love our fans and we love being part of the Walking Dead family. And so Mark came up with this concept. He's like, "Hey man, send me a picture," and I'm like, "Well, what kind of picture? And what are you going to do with this image?" And he's like, "I got an idea. Here's my idea." So he showed me the concept and everything, and I was like, whoa, you know what? They really can't come back, and I can't get in trouble for this action card. This action card is amazing because I'm a savior on The Walking Dead. It's my image. It has nothing to do with any copyrights or any images that are on The Walking Dead. It's me as an action with a cool ass freaking prop gun. And that is a prop gun. Even though it looks real, that is a prop gun that I have on there.
They need to jump. The Walking Dead needs to jump on this.
They're a little.
You don't want to notify them.
Well, they already know because they know about everything, Mark. They're
Exactly.
they're the.
So they probably didn't like this at first. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I haven't heard any negative feedback at all.
It's so cool. This kind of thing you see like 20 years from now on Pawn Stars. Like, I got the whole catalog of the dead cards.
Yeah. Mark.
I want $2,000 for these.
Mark had a great concept. He came out with the first 20 cool ass cards, and I was number 13. My buddy is like number 3 or number 1. I can't remember. My buddy Indiana Fuentes, who's going to be joining your podcast in the future. He's a savior like me. We met the same day on the set. When I was doing that amazing scene with Negan, that's when I met Indiana. I'd filmed with Indiana on other shows
Was
as
he
well.
in that scene?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That scene is real famous.
Indiana has a longer tenure on The Walking Dead than I do, because I had another show that I was working on back here in Wilmington. And what happened was in March, we started filming 6. Local History Channel, great, amazing TV show about SEAL Team 6. Okay? And so originally, the lead that I was involved with, Joey, he got sick. The Colombian woman that my brain is going like bye today for some odd reason. Can't remember her name either, but she's on Modern Family. The Colombian, beautiful actress.
She's hilarious.
Her husband, Joey Maginelio, or whatever his last name is. I'm sorry, Joey, if I messed up your last name. I first saw him on Friends, and then back in the day, and then I think it was Friends, or maybe Seinfeld. Maybe it was both. But recently, he's done a lot of other TV shows like True Blood. He's was the main wolf character on True Blood. Really, really great actor. Well, something happened to where he had to leave the show, and so everything got paused, literally paused. So then they brought in Walton Goggins, who's an amazing actor who I've worked with on Vice Principals and worked with on 6 as well, and so I got to work really close with Walton Goggins in the scene because I'm the featured terrorist guard dude that's taking him in and making sure that he's getting to my leader, who's played by my buddy Zico, who's now the lead on FBI. And so that was a really cool show that I got to be on. And on that show, the guns were prop guns as well, but they were real. So they were real guns, but they had been made into prop guns. So they were heavy.
AK?
They were no, this was a much bigger machine gun. This was this wasn't an AK-47. No, and it wasn't an AR-15. It was a much larger. I'll show you. It's on my Instagram page. It's my second dead card. The dead cards.
So you shoot blanks out of them.
You can. Well, that's what I did on The Walking Dead. On The Walking Dead,
or they just CGI in your shots.
Well, so yeah, they do the noise and everything on 6 with the action and all that stuff on The Walking Dead. When I first got on set, they gave me live rounds that were blanks, and they told me, "Look, you got your gang of saviors behind you. You're walking out towards where Rick and the other Walking Dead leads are in a Winnebago, and so they're driving slowly towards our roadblock. I walk out and I start firing blank shots to them, forewarning them not to come any further, turn around, or they're gonna get fucked up. You know what I mean? So that's what the Saviors did, man. The Saviors killed people. They slaughtered innocent people if you didn't do what you were told. Literally, when you met the Saviors, one of you died. That same day, one of your characters died. And it was up to Negan and the leaders, Arat and Steven. Those were the two leaders that were badass under Negan, and there was some other players as well. But my tenure lasted only 4 episodes through The Walking Dead. However, I was on the most watched Walking Dead episode ever to this day, and the number one television episode in the history of all television. I was asked to be a savior on those two those 2 episodes that were simultaneous. So it was a blessing, and it charged my career tremendously fast to where people started noticing me more and more. Even though, man, I didn't even I didn't want to let anybody know what I was doing. I had to keep that secret for 6.5 months. 6.5 months, man.
Crazy.
Everybody was asking me who the characters were that were done. Because in the comic books, they already knew who it was, right? But The Walking Dead loves to twist things, right? The production, the storyline, the amazing director, Greg Nicotero. Big ups to all my peeps over on the Walking Dead universe, because I just thank them every day. Being able to get something like one of our fans made these dead cards, like it's his idea, it's his concept, and to be honest, man, it's going like wildfire. He goes to all the shows, all the Comic Cons, especially the Walking Dead Comic Cons, and he's having great success, distributing out these the dead cards.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Look at you. Well, JD, it's been a great talk on the second half of our podcast, and I look forward to having you on a bunch more in the future and getting you to do your own podcast, because I want to hear some of your crazy antics, crazy stories, and your psychedelic reasoning of the world. It will be very interesting. So please start your podcast now. Get your anchor going and just start yakking. We want to hear it. So anyways, This is JD Bulla, straight from all the great Netflix shows and TV. Check him out. Coming to a silver screen near you soon. All right, JD, it's been a great time. Talk to you soon. Let's go hit the beach.
Hey, man. Yeah, the beach is nice today after all these massive thunderstorms that came through, all the nice rain. One more, thing to look forward to is to stick your feet in the beach these days, because, the last time we got together, it was like what, 3 or 4 days before we got together, they were still telling people that they couldn't throw balls on the beach, and they had everything shut down. Moving. You had to keep moving.
They were coming and stopping people for not moving.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to start moving. Do some jump jacks.
Yeah, you couldn't even lay on your towel. You could only swim. You could only do that. That's all you could do.
Well, there's a little swell out there, so we'll go out there and catch a few waves before the sun goes down. And it was great talking to you, and we will see you on the next Dubbcast, everybody. Big love and unity from the Dubb. Talk to you soon.
Peace out.
Fun times indeed. I want to thank JD for coming out and giving us a fun interview here on the Dubbcast. The 2-part series was awesome. I want to thank all the good friends for all your support. You can get more information about the Dubbcast and Selah Dubb at SelahDubb.com. Check out the brand new video we're putting out for the song Smile on YouTube this Tuesday. Alright, the Dubbcast is brought to you by Carl Heavily Surfboards, handcrafted on the Crystal Coast. Check it out. High performance longboards, fishes, fun shapes, and thrusters, handcrafted by Carl Headley himself on the Crystal Coast. Check it out at carlheadley.com. Also brought to you by JM's Pub and Seafood right here in Surf City. With fresh catches of the day, seasonal shrimp and oysters, JM's carries the finest seafood selections. Also, check out JM's Pub, live music 3 nights a week. And the JM's Jump Up on Thursday nights, reggae every Thursday night at JM's Pub. I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Dubbcast. We'll be back next week. Big love and unity from the Dubb. The Selah Dubbcast is brought to you by the Adonai Network. All rights reserved. 2020.